On to race number 7, the second of the features, the Group 3 Premier Cup. 1,400 metres the trip this time, headed by last year's winner, the Wizard of Oz, Joe Maria from Barrier 3. Lucky Bubbles, well, he ran last behind Winner's Way last time out. Winner's Way was runner-up last year. Zach Purton will jump on board from Barrier 1. Boyne China, runner-up behind Winner's Way. Dundonald coming out of the Winner's Way race. Joyful Trinity was behind California Whip, who won last time out over the 1,400 metres. And Magic Legend, well, he finished third in this race last year. He's well out of the handicap here, though.
California Whip potentially might find the front. Donnell, if he steps, probably at his better distance. What will Lucky Bubbles do? He's certainly below par in his performances of late, but stepping up to the longer trip, maybe they might roll forward with him from barrier number 8. We know the Wizard of Oz generally gets back, and Winner's Way has been able to close off, but at times he's led. They can box seat. They'll let something else lead and get cover, I would have thought.
You're going to have a star track worker for the week. This will be him, the Wizard of Oz. He's going fantastic at the moment, really going nicely. A couple of even sectionals there, but some of his gallops have been very good.
A new segment for next season.
Could be a good idea, couldn't it?
Yeah, could easily do it. Lucky Bubbles, interesting runner. That's him on the far side, just taking off at the moment. He's stepping up to 1,400 metres. Being by Sebring, you'd think the 1,400 would be okay for him, but you can see he's going okay there. He's really taken off. And Winner's Way, the last start winner, was impressive last time and will get a nice run in the race. So he looks very hard to beat as well. So really good race here, the second of the group races.
All right, OK, yeah, very impressive. He's much worse off, though, on the form with Wizard of Oz from last year's race. We'll start off, though, with California Whip. This is a good effort, beating Joyful Trinity and Magic Legend. Karis Teton will ride here from Barrier 6.
He's got no weight on his back. He's found form over the course and distance of this race, winning the Hong Kong Macau Trophy here. This was a very good time on the clock. Interesting lineup, really, measuring him up against, you know, the Wizard of Oz, Winner's Way, the top liners, or, you know, previous horses that have performed at group level. I don't think he's a genuine sort of Group 2, Group 1 horse, but the form he's in, the weight off his back and the course and distance is right. Gives him a chance.
Yeah, I threw him in for fourth. I think he can run okay in the race, and he's in form at the moment.
Does he get overhauled by the quality in the end?
I think so, yeah.
All right, that quality may well come from Winner's Way and the Wizard of Oz. Not forgetting Born in China as well, who should appreciate, in theory, the step up in trip. Lucky Bubbles, though, this was too bad to be true, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Brett Prebles, you know, sort of said he wasn't the horse that he was. I can't put him in the tips now. I'd love to, because he's been one of my favourites for a long time, but he's just not going that well. The Wizard of Oz, on the other hand, he comes in third up. He looks perfectly placed here. He'll like some cushion out of the track. And Winner's Way has certainly put his name up in lights all season. So I think the Wizard of Oz, Winner's Way, could easily Quinella the race again.
That's how I see it, actually. I see it that way. I think the Wizard of Oz can beat him over 1,400 metres. 5 starts, 3 wins. It's his ideal distance.
Interesting, Winner's Way last year, Andrew, started a $1.80 favourite and 5 to 1 about the Wizard of Oz when he won.
Those prices might be switched around this weekend. The Wizard of Oz, you could argue maybe he was in slightly better form last year coming into the race, but he absolutely bolted up, and on that running, he's £10 better off with Winner's Way.
He's never really had a great deal of continuity with his preparations, has he? He's always had a little setback here or there, or something that's put him back a few weeks, and it's always been difficult to sort of get half a dozen runs consecutively into the horse without any sort of thing going wrong. But, gee, that was a good trial. I know Paul's a big fan. He's already suggested he's probably the pick of track work for the program, and I'm going to go with Paul. I think he's ready.
Yeah, I do too. Third up, I think this will be his race.
Lucky Bubbles has been back to the trials after that run we just saw, and like if you hadn't seen that race, you'd say he's going well.
Yeah, the problem is with him, he just on race day hasn't been able to perform, and last start he wasn't able to put his best two forward, so he just obviously is looking good in the mornings and in the trials, but on race day it's not there.
Interesting, they're stepping him up to 1,400 metres. That's because they have been keeping him to the 12, haven't they? So maybe the extra 200 metres will help him, but he's lost that early speed.
Yeah, might give him an opportunity to sit outside of the leader, and then when they go in the stretch, find out whether or not he is actually anywhere near his best.
No other opportunities for him this year either, to a certain extent. But there you go, that was Conti winning that trial as well. But the Wizard of Oz, Paul, are even money favourite.
Yeah, got him on top. I can see why. It's the ideal distance for him, and I think he's been well set for this race. Winner's Way is obviously going to be the hardest to beat. Born in China, I've got him there for third. I still think he's a better Happy Valley horse, but he ran really nicely behind Winner's Way last start, and California Whip's in form. 1-3-4-7, box the 1-3-4 up.
Same cue, 1 to beat 3, the Wizard of Oz over Winner's Way, who I went back and had a look at his earlier form. He and Beat the Clock had a real stirring battle in one of his first sort of 4 or 5 starts. Look what Beat the Clock's done this season. Winner's Way working his way towards a genuine group contender as well here in Hong Kong. California Whip of the lightweight can run a cheeky one. Joyful Trinity's had a lot of soundness issues. Hasn't been able to recapture anywhere near his best, but maybe some cushion in the track will give him another chance to find an extra length or so. So 1, 3, 7 and 6.
Yeah, same cue for me. 1 and 3, same numbers as Paul. Just got the 3rd and 4th round the other way. 7 and 4, the top 4 there in the Premier Cup. All right, back with race number 8 in a moment. From a Group 3 to a Class 3. That's up next.